Cal is riding around the Genoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Solana. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Oh, no way, I didn't mean it like that, Cal exclaims. It's actually really cool. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed going down one side to come back up on the other side. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? That Cal's a good boy, he says, and have you seen Anomi? She's been out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she's spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertuma is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, but the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. You find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth, spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do, she asks. Remember, Solana, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering wing, in the back half of the stratospheric severed frame. Professor's Hal still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Captain Governor Udicott works, but you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. You see Dis sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of. But then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. breaking you from your daydream, Dis whispers, I think there are monsters out there. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. Stop making fun of me, Dis pouts. You're as bad as Mars. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for a while, your entire life. Back on the ship, you used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nano printer credits to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Her ears perk up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Solana, she says. Her voice is soft and dreamy like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she has even more of them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements and two super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The two of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to stardom as professional dancers. Whoa, this is really pretty. You stop cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions is off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. Cal has a dazed, peaceful look in his face. The air smells so good on Vertuma, and so does the dirt even. You notice his clothes are filthy, but obviously Cal couldn't care less. Anomi bounces in. Holy crap, there's so much space to run around and play in. Common Chief Rhett set up an outdoor sports ball court, and it's way huger than the old one in the ship. Tangent carefully selects one cushion from the pile and perches on it. The school's expanding to some of the empty engineering bays, she tells you, and we're getting a big new lab to do experiments using local resources. There's so much to learn about this planet. Anomi rolls her eyes, but Tang continues. We shouldn't forget our studies just because we've landed, she says primly. Tammy nods in agreement. It's scary out there, she mumbles. I'm gonna stay close to our quarters for now. You've had less of the deja vu dreams come to life feeling this week, and you're starting to think you'd even imagined it, but suddenly you get a prickling sensation in the back of your neck, and remember that Mars is about to enter the lounge and tell everyone to look outside. You stare at the door. Mars walks through it, as if on cue. OMG, everybody look outside. They're hoisting a flag over command, she says, clapping her hands excitedly. You know what that means, right? She stands tall with her hands on her hips. Vertuma is officially humanity's first exocolony ever. You look out on the flag, feeling dizzy, and silently mouth the words along to what she says next. You remember this moment so well. This is history, kids, she exclaims, wrapping Inomi and Tangent under each arm, and we were there. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint in the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across the nest of pillows. Oh, I'm sorry, Silliness, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice outside with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows. You rub your eyes blarily. Ugh, you were having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Silliness is making a new kind of candy. She says it's kind of, cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, but then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. In the cafeteria, Auntie Silliness is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, fluffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Silliness, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first, and that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets that the kitchen nano printer can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think, pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give to her later. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of canceled business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-seized ones. Solana, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon in the creche. Oh, no. No. Not Tammy. You try to understand her words. Tammy? Dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy, pink and fluffy just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky, dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind goes blank. Your mom tells you, as simply as possible, that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken, hollow projector. It was just an accident. You press her for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you'd grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you. Sometimes there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble, okay, and then get changed and crawl into bed a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Wow. Okay. Alright. And I am going to go to bed.